Hey, Rebecca, it's really nice to see you again. Glad you could make it to this meeting. I know you guys are thinking about the R1900, and from what I understand, you have some questions about NetCloud and GPS functionality.
Yes. So as you just don't know much about NetCloud, so it's hoping like a high level walkthrough of what's available, and then maybe a little bit on station services. Great.
All right, so I do have my R1900 pulled up here. This will be the dashboard that you see when you log into your NetCloud account always, and this will give you your total number of devices, how many are online, offline. Of course, Ericsson did just come out with some APs, so you would see those listed here. You would see your Ethernet WAN usage, modem data usage, and then your Wi-Fi's WAN, so you kind of break that up a little bit. And then let's go through the left side panel first. And then you can click on devices here. This is going to give you a whole list of all of your devices. You'll see your group. You can put custom asset identifiers in here, like Billy Bob's car, right? You can put that there. It's going to let you know what group it belongs to, um, your NetCloud OS, and you can actually edit these too. We can kind of get into that later if you want, but you can actually edit what you see up here to customize it for yourself. Here's your network interfaces, which is just going to show you all of your WANs, your modem, SIMs, Wi-Fi, all that good stuff. So it'll tell you what's connected, what's not. And then this is your groups. So this is just going to list all your groups here. I don't have any groups listed right now, but you can just, it's super simple to add them. You just click the plus button, give it a name, the sub account that's going under, and it is product specific. So you can't mix different types of devices. So if you have R1900s and E3000s, you would have one group for R1900s or 25 groups for R1900s and one for E3000s or whatever. I think you get the point there. This is going to show you your networks. You can always add one here. Let's see, hosting mode. Then you name it, your primary DNS, secondary DNS if you have one, and you can actually add a whole bunch of stuff here. And this is Ericsson's NetCloud Exchange, which is like a zero trust platform, and we can kind of get into that a little more in depth. I don't think we have time for that today. This is where you would see any of your alerts. You can set up your alerts here. Super easy, just click add, carrier data, collection, configuration, any of that stuff. Security. So if you have a user that their account gets locked or you want to lock it or whatever, intrusion activity, you can see a whole bunch of stuff there. Your subscriptions, like if you want to get a notification 6 months or 3 months before your NetCloud manager needs to be renewed, you can set that up here. And then Wi-Fi is WAN. You can do that. Insights, this is just going to be where you would see any of your saved reports. Like if you wanted to do a security report, right? Then you would just set that up here, and that insights is where you would see that. And then, yeah, okay. And then tools here, this is where you would manage any SDKs or APIs that you might set up. Integrations, this is just some of Ericsson's technology partners. So this would just be a virtual router. This is Azure, and this is like an IoT platform. And then forward thinking is kind of what I thought you might be interested in. This is a full blown AVL. So if you just click on that real quick, this will just give you some of the features that are available with forward thinking, and you can manage this AVL directly from NetCloud. So I just thought that was something you might be want to look into a little bit more. And then your account, This is where you can add users. This just tells you kind of what your users have right now. So like I'm the root admin of this account, so I can add a user here, sub account user. I can edit them, delete them. Session links, you can set that up so nobody's, using all your cellular data just hanging out there for no reason. Or if you want to limit the time that someone can spend here, that's fine. This is your subscriptions tab, your single sign-on. Marketplace, you don't need to know anything about that because you're always going to come through me. Resources, just in case I'm not available and you don't have time to call support or you don't want to call support, you can always go right here to the knowledge base. There's always a lot of good information in there. And if you click on technical support right here, you can actually submit your own ticket if you're having an issue. But you should probably call me.
Yeah, well,
All right, great. So if you want to go to your individual devices or groups or whatever, so you can set up location services by group or device, but since I don't have any groups, we're just going to go right here and you can go configuration and then location services. And you would enable location services, and then you would select what kind of location services you want, right? So this is GNSS with the nearest serving tower. And then if you want location tracking with GNSS, which is like breadcrumbing, you would check that right there. Oh yeah. And then if you go back to your dashboard too, just so you know, you can hit Geo View right here, right? And that's going to tell you, you'll see like these little green check marks where all your devices are. If you click on one of the little green check marks, then it's going to tell you where that device is, how long it's been there, how it's connected. Like mine's connected right now through Verizon. You can change this to look a little bit different, right? And then, no, no, we definitely don't want to go full screen. But if you want it, like when you first get these, my advice would be to set up your geo view like this. So just until you get a nice heat map of um, the county, so you know where you're strongest at, where you're a little weak at, so we can figure out the best carrier for you, right? And also, let's see. What do you mean, like reports like?
um, such as like breadcrumbing trails, like service patterns really maybe there's insufficient signal in certain areas, like how the devices perform, right?
Yeah. So if you want to look at that kind of stuff, go right here. Configure, well, actually just click on the device, sorry. Click on the device right here, and then you can go Geo View here, and that's going to show you the tower that it's currently connected to and even what band it's on. And if you go to you can actually look at the history. I just gotta remember how to do it. Um, um, so this is probably a pretty handy tab for you. Just gonna give your uptime, cellular health, blah blah, quality of experience. Yeah. So if you go down, here, sorry, let's click on cellular health. And of course, wait for it all to pull all the data. But you can change how long. Yeah, so you can do custom, last 30 days, whatever. And then this is also going to show you your QoS or quality of service. And see the little, yeah. And you can actually, if you go to troubleshooting, like one of my favorite parts, you can do a speed test. But this does have to be done, on the device level, right? Usually as soon as that jitter and latency pop up, then it'll start. And this device sits in the exact same spot. It's in my office at home, and sometimes this does pretty well, like it's doing right now. And then if I do it again in 5 seconds, it'll be completely different. Yep. And to see the history of that, you can go right here to results history. And again, you can make this whatever you want it to be. And this is where you would look at all your different levels, like your RSRQ, your SINAR, your RSRP. So if you are having problems, you can kind of figure out, is it the antenna? Is it me? Am I just in a bad spot? Yes. All right, great. Any other questions? Great. I am super glad.